Well, happy Sunday. It's time for the weekend video. Get ready. Well, this weekend I have been doing a lot of running around, a lot of errands, lots going on. I have I've received a great gift from Mike Williams in the ministry. I've received an upgrade on my RV, and so I'm busy moving one RV out so I can go get the new one. And everything's a little hectic. There's a lot to do because I had my RV set up permanently, so there was a lot to do to break down all the permanent skirting and blocking and internal stuff and stuff had to do to the truck. And then tomorrow I've got to go get the RV, and it's about 3.5 hours away, and I'm probably going to take a different route back. It's probably going to take me 5 hours to get back, so tomorrow's going to be a busy day, and I'm doing as much as I can right now to prepare for that. That being said, I haven't had much time to think about what to do for a video, so I just happened to check Facebook real quick, and somebody is in my news feed who is a Facebook friend of mine. I don't know them personally, but they are on a rant about hell and trying to scare people with hell, and they better accept Jesus or they're going to burn in hell forever. And I was like, we've talked about that plenty of times, but I guess you can't talk about it enough, can you? Hell is not in the Bible. This fictitious place, this place where people believe sinners go who have not accepted Jesus as their personal Lord and Savior, and they burn for all of eternity in absolute misery and torment and punishment, doesn't exist. It comes from pagan theology. Now, is the word in your English translation Bible? Yeah. Well, there's a reason why. When you talk about the Bible and that section called the Old Testament, that was all written in Hebrew. And in Hebrew, throughout the Old Testament, nothing in the original Hebrew language is speaking about this place we call hell, that is a place of eternal torment. The word in the Hebrew in the Old Testament that is sometimes translated as hell is Sheol. And that just means the grave or the dwelling place of the dead, which is where everybody goes when they physically die. But the English translators, and you got to understand, these English translators are Christians, and they are arbitrarily, whenever they want, and with no particular pattern, so to speak, they sometimes translated that word Sheol as hell. Now, there's only one reason they would want to do that. They wanted to use this fearful thing to control and make their followers obedient to them. And in medieval Europe, you had to belong to the church. So, and then, of course, they controlled you with that. Now, New Testament, written in Greek, and those words that are translated as hell, the majority of the time they are the word Gehenna, which Gehenna was a physical place, still is a physical place. It's the Valley of Hinnom, or its name is called Gehenna, right outside of Jerusalem, where they used to burn things, trash, and even sometimes human sacrifice. And depending on what period of history you're looking at. But it was never an eternal place, a spiritually eternal place. It was a trash dump outside of Jerusalem. That's the most common word used that is translated into the English as hell. But in effect, in general, none of the words that are translated into hell in the English New Testament mean hell. So it's imperative to understand that. Now, there are people who have thoroughly researched this. One of them is a lady named Julie Furwida. Forwarda, and she wrote a book called Raising Hell, and you can find that on the internet. Another person who's a friend of ours, his name is Gary Amerald, and he hosts a website called tentmaker.org. And Gary has done extensive research into the origins of the word hell in the Bible. And he has repeatedly debunked all of those things. There is no hell. And you can go to tentmaker.org, and there are pages and pages and pages, literally hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of reading and some videos, and you might even find a podcast recording or two. But just for the purposes of this video, I'm just here to tell you, or to remind you, the hell that's in the English translation of what we call the Bible was never in the minds or even in the text of the original language. It was added by Christian translators for a specific reason, to control the people. It's revolutionary, I know. Oh, and before I go, I want to say a special thanks to two very special people. One is Billy Thompson. Billy, thank you. I have been so grateful for you donating this RV to me that I've had now for 2 years, and I love it, and I thank you very much for it. And it's also, contributing to, in a way, contributing also to its replacement. And but I will always be grateful for this wonderful thing that you did for me. And I also want to thank Muriel Alexandrowski for her contribution to making this transition to this newer RV even possible. Thank you, Muriel, as well. And now have a revolutionary week.